via email to anyone that is attending, or anyone that you know that isn't able to attend, that you know registered. They'll also get a copy of it as well. Feel free to go ahead and type in the question and answer module any questions that you have during the webinar. What I'll do is I'll make sure that towards the end we leave a little bit of time open so that we can answer those questions for you. So without further ado, let me go ahead and hand it over to Jeremy Krashin. How you doing, Jeremy?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome, no problem.
Okay, thank you everyone for attending today. I'm very excited to be here with iMatrix to present on patient education as a means of patient retention. I'm here, like Michael said, with spinehealth.com. I'm just going to do a quick overview of patient education to start. We'll talk about the medical benefits of it, which I think that we know pretty well, and we'll talk a little bit about the business benefits of it as well. We'll talk about the patient life cycle and how patient education fits into it, and how it can help lead to patient retention, and then a little bit about spine health. So, I just thought I'd start today with a quick quote from the U.S. National Library of Medicine. It says, if doctors are to continue to provide a service that meets the demands of citizens, they need to develop a new relationship with patients, acting not as instructors, but as guides, to help people make decisions about their own health. They have to be more accountable for the quality of care they provide and work with a wider range of health and non-health professionals to meet patients' needs. Doctors need not only to accept the consumer society, but also to encourage it. And I think the end is the most important part of that, about accepting the consumer society and encouraging it. A lot of this is going to come back to the idea that people are going to go to the internet. They're going to check what you're saying on the internet, and they're often going to come in, as you guys know already, all chiropractors know, they come in, I read about it on the internet, and here's what I think it is. And they tell you, they diagnose, self-diagnose before they come in. So, today's consumer, today's patient is more educated already. It's not always the right education, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we get into it, how to get the right education. But, the fact is that they are getting educated. So there are good medical benefits to that, that patient education. It does increase the patient's ability to cope with and manage his or her health. It is nice that they have the background, a little bit of background, and are able to communicate a little more clearly with you on what may or may not be ailing them. The patient education does facilitate understandings of health status, diagnosis and treatment options, and consequences of care. So, it's not just about understanding what's going on, it's about understanding your diagnosis, it's about understanding the consequences, good or bad, of what your treatment might do. Patient education does empower patients a little bit more, which can really be a good thing. I think that it's coming with a stigma. I think even in our personal lives, when we go to a professional and we start off a conversation, yeah, I was reading about it on the internet, and I think I know what's going on. It does empower the patient a little bit, whether they're right or wrong. At least they're feeling like they're in control of their own health, and that is important, and it does have good, strong medical benefits. One of those benefits are, of course, that they can follow their health care plan, and that's really what we're going to dig into a little bit further. Of course, helps patients to learn healthier behaviors. They're understanding, what you're doing and why you're doing it. Promotes recovery and improved function, increased patient confidence in his or her self-care, and of course, decreases treatment complications, which is really a big thing, because they understand more of the full scope. This is not a tunnel vision of treatment. there's a full scope, full picture, a full umbrella of what the treatment is, and they're a part of it. They're helping to develop their plan for treatment. So I want to talk a little bit about Spine Health so you know where I'm coming from. Spinehealth.com is the web's largest spine, back, and neck site. In the last calendar year of 2013, we had over 32 million visitors, and this year we're on pace for 40 million visitors. So, you know, we have that sort of traffic because people trust our site. I'll touch on that a little bit later, but you know, just to show you, people are coming, and they're coming in droves to read on spinehealth.com. First quarter was 10.2 million visits, and second quarter was 13 million visits. So that kind of increase is really representative of you know, the excitement about spinehealth.com. In June alone, there were over 10 million page views on Spine Health. So we also have hundreds of articles and customized videos on Spine Health. So you know, it's a great place for chiropractic education. All content is well organized, peer-reviewed. Topics are wide-ranging, so we can give patients all information that they need. And there's articles, videos, and then forums as well. So you know, Spine Health is an online publisher. It's been publishing content since 1999. So we've been in this online publisher game for a long time. And all content, like I already mentioned, is medical board reviewed. So it's reliable content. June alone, our traffic hit records. I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but the point here is that people are coming to the site of Spine Health because they want to get educated, and they're coming to sites like Spine Health. Spine Health is the most reliable for spine, back, and neck pain, but you know, they are going all over to find it. So let's talk a little bit about the patient life cycle. So the patient life cycle is circular. It's not here in this this slide, but you can see it starts and ends with attraction because you know, you start by attracting patients, you treat patients, you educate patients, and then you need to retain the patients, and then there's more marketing through word of mouth, which leads back to more attraction. So patient life cycle, you're a chiropractor, you know about treatment. I can't speak on that. You know about it already. I'm not here to talk about that. But how about business? How about marketing? Do you know how to attract patients? Do you know how to retain patients? And what's the best way to do that? And that's really what patient education is all about. You know, it's important not to miss any educational opportunities. And the way I see it is that it comes in three main opportunities. There's a touch point in your office. When a patient is in your office, you know, there's opportunities to educate them on what you're doing and why you're doing it. Email, snail mail, again, another touch point. And then, of course, the most obvious and I think most glaring is social media. Facebook, of course, being the most common, but also Twitter, Instagram, any other way you're connecting with patients through social media. So I'm going to go through each of those opportunities and how you can educate patients in each of those areas. So you've got people in your office. Hopefully they're happier than these people. Well, this is the best picture I can find, so bear with me. But so you've got people in your office. They're waiting. They're reading Sports Illustrated. They're reading U.S. News. They're reading Time Magazine. You know, but this is a missed opportunity if that's all they're reading. There should be chiropractic content, chiropractic material available. It should be up to date. It should be stuff that they can kind of mentally prepare for what you're about to do. It should be relevant. And like it says here, rather than simply content, make it chiropractic content. Make it content that teaches them something about chiropractic that they may not have known, something where they can kind of glean something and get excited about this treatment. Say, hey, I'm coming in with some back pain. I'm a new patient. I don't know what to expect, but while I'm waiting here, I'm going to read this material, and maybe I'll get something out of it. And don't forget, before, during, and after treatment, while they're in your office, there's educational opportunities. I'm not just talking about tacking up things on the wall. I'm talking about really engaging and in educating your patient. So in-office education is the first one. Mailing an email. So you're treating a patient. How are you following up with afterwards? How are you following up with your patients afterwards? Make sure that, again, your educations are chiropractic, your follow-ups are chiropractic related. Talk about your treatments. Talk about the conditions that you can treat. And then the benefits, of course, of email mailing are most prominently staying top of mind and encouraging patients not only to make that follow-up appointment, but to act on the treatment that you've made. You know, did you give them homework? Are they supposed to be stretching? Are they supposed to not be lifting? Are they supposed to be seated more? Are they supposed to be sitting up in their chair? What are they going to do? But either way, there should be follow-ups to make sure that that you give them those reminders, and then they know, oh, okay, yeah, I'm seated correctly in my chair. As I'm saying that right now, I'm sitting up straighter, and okay, I need that next appointment really to make sure that I'm doing this right and that this is all working. And then, of course, there's social media education. So how do you get more of those Facebook follows and friends and likes, and you know, why do they like your practice on Facebook? Is it to read about the local sports team? Is it to read about how it's raining outside and you need to stay indoors, how it's sunny and it's a beautiful day? You know, there's tie-ins there, of course. Wear your sunscreen. Wear your sunscreen and position yourself as a health and wellness expert in all of your posts. That's really the key here, is that they're going to engage with your posts if they are what they're expecting, and there's research behind that to show that you know, if they're liking a doctor's office, they expect a doctor's office to post about medical content. Create posts that generate engagement. And make sure you post content regularly. So, you know, those three are really all tied together. If you're posting relevant health, wellness, chiropractic-related content, it will create engagement. And if you're doing it more regular, they're more likely to see your posts because Facebook will show them. That's how their algorithm works, is that if they're interacting with your posts, they'll be more likely to see your post next time, and more of your likes, more of your followers will see your post next time. So we talked about what you can do in your office. What kind of what education can you provide? But how can you do it? What's the best way to do it? So here's really the essence of it. How can we provide that education in the office? Give take-home reading material. If you have handouts, if you have a notepad where you write notes, make sure you're doing that. And then this I think is pretty overlooked and pretty 101 basic, but communicate with your patient before, during, and after treatment. And I'm not just talking about the follow-up newsletters and the social media, but this starts in your office to talk to them about education, what's going on with them, and make sure you're giving them homework, whether it's stretching positions for being seated or standing or laying down, whatever it is. But this education is not just medical, does not just have medical benefits. It has business benefits. It has retention benefits. And you know, it is important for their health and wellness. It's important for healing them, but it's also important for getting them back in your office. And I think that's not something that you learn at chiropractic school. That's why we're here. So these are samples of things that Spine Health do. You know, we provide these sort of neck pain, what patients need to know content, and this is a handout. We have various handouts that are, you know, what patients need to know, patient education handouts, and then the item on your right is what we call a prescription pad. It's really a notepad to say, okay, here's what you need to be, here's how you need to be seated, here's how you need to stretch, and here's how often you need to do it, and here's my notes for you. They should never leave your office empty-handed. That is a given. Don't let them leave your office empty-handed, because then they're going to go. They're going to walk, get in the car, and then, you know, if they don't remember their stretches, if they don't remember, you know, what their follow-ups are, when their appointments are, and if they're only holding an invoice, a statement, or a bill, then they're probably not coming off with the best impression, just because that's what invoices leave. What patient education leaves is a good feeling. There's follow-up. This person, this doctor cares about my care, and, you know, they're in it with me for the long haul. So don't miss any opportunities to educate your patients in your office. Email and mailing, we talked about it. Make sure and update your patients with new chiropractic treatments available in your office. Provide a full scope of what you do. How can you do it? Make sure you're collecting email addresses. I'll say that again. Make sure you're collecting email addresses. Patients will give them. Think about it in your personal life. When you go to a big box store, they're asking for your zip code so they can track where their customers are coming from. They're asking for your email address so they can send you a coupon to get you to come back. Your business should be no different. Make sure you're collecting email addresses. If you do prefer snail mail, there are opportunities to excuse me. There are opportunities to save money. It is more expensive than email. There's no doubt about that, but there's opportunities to save money. If you look into postal regulations and postal codes, there are efficient and cheaper options. You know, along with these first two bullet points, make sure that you are managing your database tightly. Every time a patient comes in, confirm their email address, confirm their mailing address, ask them if they got your mail, your email, and ask them if they want to get it. This is a great way to stay in touch with people. It's so easy, and the best way to get it is when a person is standing at your reception desk and you're collecting other information from them, you know, like their phone number, their appointment times, and things like that. Make sure you throw in email addresses and train your receptionists, your admins on making sure they do that. And then, you know, on anything you send out, make sure your practice information and contact info is readily available as a call to action. You know, don't make them go through the extra step of having to find it. You're sending them info, you're sending them your newsletter, and make sure there's an easy way that they can follow up with you. It should be glaring, it should be pulled out in that newsletter. So here's a quick sample. This is the Spine Health newsletter that we provide to doctors. The newsletter that we provide is on a new topic every month. You can see how we pull out on the bottom right side there the contact Dr. Hall to learn more, schedule an appointment. It should be really glaring like that. Make sure that contact info is right on the front, as you can see on the left side on the right-hand column, where it has the practice name, address, telephone number, and treatments that they offer, that this particular doctor offers. So again, this is just a sample that Spine Health offers for chiropractors. So again, social media. What can we do? Create Facebook posts regularly. to post. I think there's a fear that they think they're posting too much, when in fact research shows that you can post daily, and that you can post up to 3 times daily. Only about, at the most, 15 to 25% of your fans, your Facebook likers, are going to see your posts. That means that if you're posting in the morning and in the afternoon, you're likely getting different people to see your posts. So make sure you post regularly, and make sure your posts are relevant. How can you create engagement? Make sure that they include photos, they ask questions, and they're about chiropractic. Again, you know, it's okay that the high school football team in your area won the game last night, but you know, they can read about that in the sports page. You know, they want, if you want to tie it back to sports, you know, find an article on sports related to chiropractic and say congrats to the team for winning. But everything should be engaging like that, and it should be chiropractic, and then photos increase engagement. So that's really the essence of it, is making sure that you're engaging with your patients and fans on Facebook. This is a chiropractic post from Spine Health. It says, learn how chiropractors help your SI joint pain, and a link to an article. You know, we make it a point to always link back to articles. It creates that sort of engagement to where they say, hey, yeah, I like what I'm reading here. I want to read more about it. You can see the sort of likes and shares that we're getting on just a regular post. And again, the photo, it draws your eye, whether you are familiar with what this is, or like you guys are, or not, maybe like a patient is. But this kind of animation, this photo, draws your eye and captures your attention. So make sure you're engaging, make sure you're using photos, and make sure you're posting regularly. So what separates spinehealth.com from other online education resources? I'm just closing here, so I'm going to talk for a minute about spinehealth.com, and then we'll do some Q&A. But you know, all our content is approved by a medical review board, and it comes in the form of a variety of specialties and backgrounds. So you know, that's why people are coming back to our site. It's because people trust the content, they like what they're reading, and you know, we did a survey last year on the Chiropractic Health Center, the chiropractic section of our site. 83% of visitors said they were planning to schedule a visit with the chiropractor within 1 week. We have 6 times more traffic than the next leading spine site, and we're on pace for over 40 million visitors this year. So, you know, we help chiropractors through a verified chiropractor program that helps people throughout this patient life cycle. We attract people with a doctor profile. We help with treatment through patient education and at-home reading. And, you know, education, there's the patient newsletter every month, and there's patient education handouts that lead to retention, and this experience helps with your word of mouth. You know, don't just think that the medical treatment is all people are looking at. People want exceptional customer service, and they expect education to come along with that. So, you know, basically, this is it in a nutshell. And the more a patient understands what you were doing, why you were doing it, the more likely they are to see their treatment plans through to completion. And that's it, basically. And I really want to thank you for joining me today and iMatrix today to learn more about patient education. We do have a special offer for you guys for attending. You can visit spinehealth.com/webinar to read more about the Spine Health Verified Chiropractor Program and receive up to 40% off on becoming a Spine Health Verified Chiropractor. So I'd like to open up for questions about patient education, social media, marketing, and please don't hesitate to follow up with me later on If you have any questions, my phone number and email address are right there on your screen. So thank you so much for your time today. I tried to make it fast because I know we're all very busy, and I hope you found it impactful and very helpful.
Well, thank you, Jeremy. That was very helpful, very insightful presentation. If anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them into the question answer module. We'll go ahead and shoot them on over to Jeremy. Again, if you have questions, feel free to go ahead and reach him at his contact info. You can also reach us here at iMatrix at 1-800-iMatrix. If you have any kind of questions, just let us know. And if you have any questions for Jeremy, you can let us know. We'll also forward it to him as well. So I'll go ahead and leave it open for about a minute or two. If anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and just type it out. There should be in the webinar module itself, it should say questions. You can go ahead and just type it in there, and we'll go ahead and get those answered right away. In the meantime, Jeremy, do you have any questions that you know usually come up a lot, something that people tend to ask you a lot that that people might not be knowing right now?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the questions I get asked are about spinehealth.com specifically. I can touch on that. You know, we're offering discounts for being a Spine Health verified chiropractor, but what this does is it allows you to have a presence on spinehealth.com, which helps you to attract patients, and we do it through a doctor profile on Spine Health, and we help to retain patients through the newsletters, patient education, handouts, and Facebook content that we provide. So, so again, up to 40% off for webinar attendees today, and you know, it is a great deal. There's a lot of great content that come along with it, and you know, we want to help further the industry. We want to help educate your patients. We want to help you grow your business. So,
perfect. Okay, so doesn't look like we have any questions going further. If anyone does have any other questions later on that they don't know at this very moment, again, there's Jeremy's contact info. You can feel free to go ahead and email him or give him a call, or also visit them at spinehealth.com/webinar. You can use the promo webinar to get that offer. And I just want to go ahead and say thank you again for attending. Again, this is recorded, so we'll go ahead and email this on over to everyone that attended, and any colleagues that you might know that registered that didn't get a chance to attend, we'll email it to them as well. And it'll also be on our YouTube channel, which you can go to iMatrix.com or chiromatrix.com, and you'll see the YouTube icon on the top right of the screen. Go ahead and click on it, and then we have a playlist called Webinars that we have all of our recorded webinars from the past, as well as this one, which will be uploaded here shortly. So again, I want to thank you, Jeremy and Spine Health, for helping us present this webinar, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to everyone here soon. Thanks again.